Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your May Soul session. And I'm Marlo. If you are new, if you're a family, welcome back, my friend. We're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards. And I definitely want to say happy solar return, my fellow Taurian. It's Taurus season, dagnabbit, son of a gun. So, anywho, let's see what's going on for the month of May. Okay, that's a lot. It's a lot of cards. Okay. That's a lot of cards. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Geez. Well, 5 is the number of change, and it is also the number for the month of May. So let's just go with that. Anywho, first card out, we have pressure. Okay, my lighting is not being nice to me today. We have feeling weighed down emotionally or mentally, burdened, duties, obligations, accountability, and responsibility. Interesting. Next card we have is sacrifice. And it says relinquishing something of great personal value, forfeit, handing over, abdicate. Interesting. Oh man, I already see where this is going. Next, we have roots. And it says foundations, deeply embedded, core, cornerstone, long serving lineage. Why do I feel like this has something to do with the eclipse? Next, we have isolation. Don't do that. There's a difference between solitude and isolation. Isolation is not the healthy one. Reclusive, exile, ostracized, alienation by others, self imposed. And lastly, right on time, we have crossroads, inability to choose a path, fork in the road, suspension, choices, the weighing of pros and cons, mind versus heart, transitional time from one phase of your life to another. Here is the Dealio, Taurus. What I'm getting from you guys' stuff, and this is so ironic because, of course, you guys know I'm recording this ahead of time in April for May. But I just did the Pretty Mystic Weekly, which is the weekly soul session that I do over on my network. And of course, this is the week that I'm recording this of the eclipse. The eclipse is on April 30th, and it is a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And this is looking much like what it is that I saw, which means looking at this roots card, like there's a sign here where there's a need for you guys to go back to your roots. For some of you, it's like going back to what it is that something you may have deviated from. Others of you, this feels a lot like needing to I don't want to use that because I wanted to say the word I saw, abdicate, but it's almost needing to disengage from your roots or things you've always done. It's like it's a perspective, it's a status quo, if you will. It's a perspective on life, how you see people, a self-concept, what have you, that you need to disengage from. And this pressure, I feel that's coming from more or less, it's an inner unction that lets you guys know that there's time for a shift and a change. And of course, with this being the time of your solar return, it's the perfect time to do that, for you to leave things behind. We're spring babies. So whether that's spring cleaning, it's releasing things. And that's where we come in with sacrifice. So it's more or less, there's something you guys are holding on to that you need to release to hold you back. And it's making me think about a card in the chakra oracle. It's the renewal card. And it's more or less like being a tree that is planted, in this place, and it's like being uprooted. You know what I mean? But it's a new beginning once you uproot yourself. But I feel with this isolation, it is self-imposed. I feel that heavily because I feel like coming into the month of May, there's kind of like boulders on your shoulders. Like there's this heaviness or this weight of where you feel that there's something that you need to do. You're not quite sure what that is. I feel some of you, those of you who are very in tune with, spirit, your gifts, things of the sort, know that there's something that you have to give up. And I feel the thing that you have to give up, this is very scary for a Taurus, but it's like this sense of stability and security, like that very Four of Pentacles, maintaining the status quo type of deal. So it's like staying within your comfort zone. So I feel that you guys may very easily isolate yourself um in the month of May, which is interesting with that being your birthday month. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, not saying that you're not going to be hanging out with people, but I just feel you guys are going to be spending a lot of time in contemplation, because with crossroads being here, that says to me that by the ending of the month, so by the time we're in Gemini season, there's going, and how funny is that? You think about Gemini and the lover's card and needing to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? But I feel by the end of the month, you guys are going to be making a very important decision. So for some of you, this could be something along the lines of, and this is all what I'm getting intuitively, but this could be something along the lines of leaving your hometown. Like, say if you've lived in your hometown your entire life and you've never lived anywhere else, or if you've, always lived with your parents, or you've always lived with a romantic partner. It's you coming to a place now where you're like cutting ties from those roots, if you will. And I feel for another group of you, it's you guys kind of re-engaging with it, which I find to be interesting, because in the evolutionary path of a Taurus, it's usually, we're very grounded people and we like to stick with, the hometown, the childhood friends, the family, stuff like that. We like to stick with what it is that we know. And the whole evolutionary path of a Taurus is learning how to disengage from that, right? To be solo dolo, like a lone wolf, and then re-engaging with those old things. So I think that the people that would resonate with this, you guys are in different levels in your process. There's some of you that are farther along. There's some of you that are just starting. So I think for those of you who are farther along, there's the potential of you guys re-engaging with things that you have cut off. That, so like the example that comes to me, that I talked about on my new podcast, by the way. But like, say if you grew up Christian, right? And you were Christian your whole life and you left the church, and you've been out of the church hypothetically, say like 10 years or something like that. And, you've learned all of this stuff, but now there's like this unction in you that you want to go back to church or become a minister or something like that. You know what I mean? But regardless of the fact, in order for us to allow new things into our life, there has to be some level of sacrifice. So even though this is you guys' birthday month, and mind you, none of this is negative, but even though it's you guys' birthday month, I feel that this month is going to be a very contemplative month, where you're making the decision of how it is that you want to proceed, like how you want to chart forward, what you want your life to look like going forward. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know, that's extremely important for people who are 25 years old and people who are 35 years old. That's what my guides just said. I have no idea. But in 33, if you're 25, 33, or 35, like, this is like transitional periods for you, because it's like it's a whole new cycle that can potentially start for you. But the thing that's important is for you guys to choose in accordance with your personal truth and what it is that you want. And I feel the pressure that you guys feel is an inner unction, if you will. Now, the first card that came, well, not the first card, the first T card that came out is Peacock, and it says, beware of great pride. The next card, good Lord, we have older woman. I don't think I've ever gotten that before. And it says dealings or relationship with an older woman. Interesting. So what I just got from that is, okay. Then we have V, and it says victory in some endeavor. Okay, here's the dealio with this. So Taurus, there may be an older woman. I don't know if it's an auntie. I don't know if it's a grandma. I don't know if it's your mom. I don't know if it's going to be like a random homeless person that you come across. But I feel that you guys are going to be in this state to where you're kind of pondering on things. You're trying to figure out what to do, whatever. And this older woman, I'm getting so many messages from this older woman. There's going to be an older woman that says something to you that I think at the first receptivity of it, it's going to sound a little asinine. You know what I mean? And you're going to kind of look at her like, first of all, lady, I don't know you, right? Or first of all, grandma, it's like you grew up in the freaking 30s. You don't know my life. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something about her where you're going to want to discount what she's saying, right? That's where the pride thing is coming in, because I feel the way that Taurus is coming into this particular season, if you will, no pun intended, is more or less from the person. Why do I feel like this is so off center? I'm sorry, y'all. I am so like anal retentive with things like this, and I feel like this is really off center, and it's hella bothering me. But I feel like this person, it's something about this person that you guys feel discredits them, because it's something about them, either them not knowing you or not feeling that they could relate or that they don't understand. So like, say hypothetically, if this is like, you know, an auntie or like your grams or something, and they're like a, you know, a minister and a prophetess or something like that, and you're like, that is not my jive. It's like, you can't tell me nothing, you know, type of deal. But that's coming from a place of pride. But I feel whatever it is that this woman tells you guys, like whatever she speaks into your life, is something that you guys can ponder on this month, that would help you in the decision that you're ultimately going to make, right? Because the thing I like about this card in this deck is the fact that it's the arrows are saying awesome and less awesome. It makes me think about the sun card in the reverse, because it's like you can have superficial material half-hearted happiness, right? Which is like the shadow aspect of Taurus. Or you could ascend to a higher state of being and have full on, you know, in alignment with your truth kind of happiness. But I feel you shouldn't discount what this woman says, because even if it doesn't make sense in the beginning, and I feel for a lot of you, it's not going to make sense. It's like what she says, like you'd probably scoff at, but I stress, like, hear her out, because I feel whatever she says, it's like old lady wisdom, and it would be victorious. First card we have out is the Magician in the reverse. That's Aries energy. So there's some power that you have, Taurus, or resources that are available to you that you're not making the most of. You know what I mean? This can also speak to self-concept. It can speak to a disbelief in miracles, in the sense that you're stuck in a mindset to where this is me, this is my lot in life, those roots, right? This is who I am. This is the way my life has always been. Stuff ain't never going to be different. It's never going to change, type of deal. And that can be a program that's kind of running behind the scenes. You know what I mean? That stops you from stepping outside of your comfort zone, or stops you from taking a chance and moving to another city, or moving out of your parents' house, or leaving that job, or whatever the case. So the Magician in the reverse is saying to me that there's a lot of potential that you guys have within you that you're not living up to fully, right? So that's either because you're not aware of your full power, or you know, discount or disbelieve your full power. Wow. Next card out we have is the Tower, and that is your opposite sign, Scorpio. So this is talking about a breakdown to break through. So in so many ways, it's a shakeup of a foundation. It's like, and I really feel it's speaking to this old perspective of the self. It's like how you guys are seeing yourself, or how it is that you guys have been holding yourself prisoner up to this point. It could even be, you know, the word that this older lady speaks into your life, you know, that kind of makes you crumble to where how you've perceived yourself, how you've perceived life, or how you've seen or thought that life was happening to you as opposed to for you. It's more or less a breakdown and a stronghold, or a mindset mentally. But I feel it's a beautiful thing. And that's why I say, dude, with this older lady, I don't know who she is, but she feels like, and I mean, this is going to manifest differently for everyone. So I'm just going to tell y'all all the different things I'm seeing. And I hope I don't creep y'all out. Because there's one aspect of this where I feel like this person isn't alive. You know what I mean? I mean, like they're alive in the ethereal realm, but I mean, I don't feel like not for everyone, but for some people, I feel like this person like never had a body or no longer in a body. So this could be like ancestor, spirit guide, a grandmother, auntie, or something like that. I feel like that for some people. There's another group of people where this is actually like a person, like, and I feel it more as like a rant. It's a person. Like I said, there's a difference between the two of you, and this difference could be nationality. It could be like how much older this person is than you, or the fact that you don't know them at all. It could be like a random person that works in your office you never paid attention to, that just comes up and says something really random to you. Because the whole thing is, I feel whoever this person is, they're connected with spirit, whether that's they're in the spiritual realm, or they're like a very spiritual person, where I don't, if they're like a deacon, a prophetess, a pastor, rabbi, like, I feel that this person's really spiritual. But even if the person practices a religion because they're older and that's the timeline that they're on, it's like she really knows what she's taught. Like, she's very wise. Like, I would have to say she's extremely spiritually wise, because like whoever this person is, God is with them legit. Like, I see that very clearly. But it just depends on the person. So I mean, even if this is like your granny, and your granny passed away, some time ago, and she comes to you in a dream, it's like whatever is said, you need to listen. Because I feel your pride would be your sensory consciousness, your human brain, that's literally your ego, that's like saying, oh, like, you don't know what you're talking about because of XYZ. That's why I feel spirit is using this person that's either far removed, dead, spirit guide, whatever, distance from you in some way, because they need to be the messenger. Because I feel if anybody else told you, you would try to rationalize it, or you would be like, oh, they just trying to be nice, or, whatever the case. But I feel whatever this woman speaks over your life, it causes the tower, right? Because the thing I feel Taurus doesn't know is you being in the tower, and they're telling me chrysalis. We talked about this before. I don't know if it was Joe. And that's heavy Gemini energy. So I don't know if she a Gemini or Aries or Scorpio, whatever. Anywho, but what they're showing me is like they said chrysalis. So, and I remember I said that in a soul session like last month, like either in April or March. I can't remember which one. But to make this tower make more sense to you, it's kind of like you being a caterpillar, right? And you put yourself into the chrysalis, right? Like, you built the chrysalis, and it's like you've gone through your full transformation. You're the butterfly, but you're choosing to not break out of chrysalis because you don't know what's next, right? So with the magician in the reverse, it's like you don't trust your own ability. It's like, and they just said you don't trust spirit either. Okay, that's not my business. I'm just the messenger. But you don't trust spirit, like my guide said. You don't trust your own ability. You don't trust your wherewithal, so it's you being in chrysalis and being too afraid to break out. Because if you know the whole story of a butterfly, it's like, the caterpillar is going to eat all day. I look at that as synonymous with like being in sensory consciousness, like consumerism. When we're in our caterpillar stage in our lives, when we're unawakened, all we're doing is consuming, right? We're following our instincts, right? And one day you following your instincts leads you to do something, to put yourself in this cocoon, to go into isolation, right? Okay, come on with it, spirit. That's the isolation. So you isolate yourself in your chrysalis, right? And once your transformation is complete, you now have a choice to break out of that chrysalis or to stay in it. And I feel up to this point, the transformation is complete, right? But it's safe in the chrysalis. However, with the magician in the reverse, you're disempowering yourself because you're not existing as you were designed to exist. So it's settling for less than you deserve. And it's thinking almost in the sense of like, why would I break out of this? Like, I don't know if somebody gonna catch me in a butterfly net. I don't know if a little kid gonna touch my wings and I can't fly no more. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, right? But I feel what this woman speaks over your life, it's going to cause that proverbial tower to crumble or the chrysalis to crack open so that you guys have the opportunity, because you're still going to have a choice with that. It's like her speaking what she speaks is just going to make the tower crumble. And I always tell you guys, proverbially speaking, with the tower, once the tower crumbles, right, that's divine intervention, right? That's what this chick is, right? No disrespect. She's an older woman. I probably shouldn't call her a chick. But the divine intervention is what causes the tower to crumble. But once you fall out of the tower, you have a choice. You always have free will. So you have the choice to pick up all of those bricks and rebuild it. So you have a choice to go back into your chrysalis, or you have a choice to look back at it and say, damn, I didn't even realize that I put myself in that situation. Let me go ahead on back onto this path I was on, you know? So that's the opportunity that I feel you guys are being given coming into the month of May. The next card that we have is the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So you have an opportunity to release burdens. That's the pressure. Like how I said, you guys are coming into the month almost as if you have huge boulders on your shoulders. Dude, that's legit what it is. It's like the boulders that are on your shoulders is all of this unnecessary crap that you're carrying. I say all the time with the 10 of Wands, the only wand that you're ordained to carry is the Ace of Wands. Like that's your passion, that's your desire, that's your fire for life. But I feel it's so many things that Taurus has been through where, there we go, with the 3 of Swords in the reverse. There's so many things that you guys have been through that you're still carrying with you up into this point, you know, and it's making me think about Pisces reading, because Pisces whole reading last month was all about past life karma, right? And if we were to, you know, quote Dr. Judy in this daddy, it's like our initial wound. Like some people look at it as original sin, right? Virginia Satir, that's Catholicism, that looks at it as original sin. Virginia Satir looks at it as inherent human worthlessness, right? Dr. Judy looks at it as the initial wound, right? So it's like whatever state of consciousness your mother was in when she was pregnant with you. And here's a little tea if you guys don't know. But whatever mental state or energetic state your mother was in, or whatever her conscious awareness was at that time when she was pregnant with you, based on these theories, it's like you stewed in a womb for 9 to 10 months in which you picked up that energy. So hypothetically, if your dad cheated on your mom and your mom knew that when she was pregnant with you, right? And her kind of, you know, grieving over that, crying about that, so on and so forth, that energy passes on to you. So you could be someone who had a wonderful childhood, never been through anything, but not understand why you come from a 2-parent household, but you keep meeting dudes or women, right, that consistently cheat on you, because it's an energetic transfer, right? So if you looked at it like generational curses, and I talked about all of this in Pisces reading, even if you're not a Pisces, it's not in your chart, I would suggest you guys check it out, that and in the extended. So I don't take up too much time in y'all reading. But the main premise of it is if there's nothing you even have recollection of, you don't have childhood trauma, you could very easily be carrying your mother's wounds because of whatever state she was in when she was pregnant with you. For others of you, it could literally be past life karma, right? Where you feel this pressure to show up a certain way or to be this particular person, or you keep repeating these cycles. And with this 3 of Swords, with it being in the reverse, taking into account that this is something like past tense that's coming in with you, this falling underneath the Magician in the reverse is more or less saying that this is something, a betrayal, a heartbreak, past life karma, you know, your mother's karma that you've been through that has caused you to perceive yourself as half-staff, like less than, right? Like you're not operating in your full power. And I feel it's something that's very subconscious. So once again, this is literally divine intervention, Taurus. I'm not even kidding. And I kind of want it to sound creepy because what I literally feel is this woman, because when we talk about speaking a word over someone's life, if you speak a word over someone's life and you're connected with spirit, you have the potential to deliver a person like that. because they're speaking truth, right? Which is acts as like the sword of truth that causes you to have a mental breakthrough for that split second. That's all the tower is about. It's spirit giving you an opportunity for a split second to see the truth of what's really happening here. And you have the choice to leave this behind. This 10 of Wands, as well as this 3 of Swords. So any pain, any form of heartbreak, right? Like you could get straight delivered for your B-Day. You know what I'm saying? And get back to the truth of the matter, because all 9 of these wands, that's other burdens that you're carrying that aren't yours. Even like I said, if we're talking about the initial wound with the mom thing, it's like your mom going through what she was going through. That was her life path, right? You didn't ask to be here, allegedly, even though you did. But it's not your responsibility to carry your parents' karma or to carry your past incarnations' karma. The whole premise is for you to learn from your experiences. But what I feel is happening is there's lessons and challenges, many crossroads that you guys have encountered throughout the course of your life, and it's kind of missing the mark. It's like, why does bad stuff keep happening to me? I'm a good person. Like, I don't hurt anybody. Like, why do people keep stabbing me in the back? Why do people keep screwing over me? Like, why is this person like such of a bad person? And all of this good stuff is happening for them, and I'm just sitting over here like being nice and people screw over me and all this other kind of stuff, right? And I feel what this is really speaking about is severing ties with this and sacrificing that old narrative to embrace a new one, right? Next card that we have is the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. So that's having one foot in the past and you're desperately trying to walk to the future. It's an indecisiveness, and that's where I feel that this need for isolation is going to come from. But I just have to be honest with you, Taurus. I feel the revelation that you guys get is not going to come from isolation. It's like you cutting everyone off and meditating for freaking 12 hours a day, or, you know, whatever the case. None of that's going to help. Like, I'm just being honest. It's like I feel someone has to call you out, but they have to call you out in love. And this is the difference. Like, especially those of you who have psychic gifts and things of the sort. It's like the energetic work that I do with people where I'm speaking words, I don't need to call you out on your shit. I could say strawberry, right? But it's just words are, oh, that's actually funny. I thank you guys for that, guys. I see that's an inside joke we got going on there. Spirit told me many, many years ago that words are fruit, right? How we birth things into this realm is through words, right? Because the only thing that words are like audible sounds that we call languages and so on and so forth. But it's you infusing spirit into these sounds that you're making. So it doesn't really matter what's said. So if I feel led to do such of a thing as this, as I'm seeing, I could literally say strawberry. And it's not about the fact that I said strawberry. It doesn't matter if the person even speaks English and doesn't even know what the hell strawberry means. It's just the vibrational frequency that I released into this realm over that person that can deliver them, because it hits you like a ton of bricks. So I say those of you who have, you know, gifts and things of the sort and are familiar with such things, you know what I'm talking about. When certain words are spoken, it's like you feel it almost like a rush of wind over you, right? So it's not necessarily about what she says. And of course, spirit is going to meet you where you're at. If you're somewhere to where it needs to be a direct message, yeah, but it's like truth spoken in love isn't, you're fucking up, you need to do better, like you doing this and you not praying, and nah, it's not going to be like that. It's what this woman says is maybe just a few words, and those few words are just going to stick with you to where you're like, whoa, wait, huh? Wait a minute, wait a minute, right? Because with this 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, going back to this roots card, there is one foot that's in the past. So that indecisiveness with the crossroads, I feel you guys have been at this crossroads for some time, right? But the thing you're not realizing is something has to be sacrificed. The thing that has to be sacrificed, my beautiful Tauri, is the past. It's those old roots, that old narrative. It's almost like cutting off a diseased limb, and feeling like, but I don't want to have no legs, right? But it's like, if you have gangrene, dude, it's like, save your life and sacrifice the freaking legs. You feel what I'm saying? So the only thing I feel like you guys are doing is sacrificing your past for your future, but you can't have both. You can take the lessons from your past. You could take the experiences from your past, but you can't stay in the past and be in the future. Well, hallelujah. The next card you guys have is the Six of Swords. So this is the thing, dude. And I know that this may sound kind of cray-cray, because I know when I have these conversations with people, it's usually like, why would I want to hold on to my past? I don't want to have anything to do with that. Like, da-da-da-da, right? I hear that all the time. And I feel what you're saying, right? I'm a Taurus too. I totally get it. But there's certain things, it's almost like feeding our own demise, or an addiction to chaos. It's like, there's certain stuff that we do, certain mindsets that we have, if it's an old narrative, ain't nobody ever gonna help me but me, I have to take care of myself, everybody relies on me, whatever. It's like, if you having that old narrative, you carrying those boulders on your shoulders, of you being the strong friend, if that isn't serving you, then why are we still living by that narrative? You understand? If you made it up in your mind that you're the strong friend, because that's just what I've always been, as far back as I can remember. I've always had to rescue everyone. I always had to save everyone. I feel you. That's what everybody expects of you. Totally. I get it 110%. However, if this isn't serving you, if this is making you feel stagnant, if this is making you feel consistent pressure, anxiety, worry, you're weighed down consistently, right? With our little peacock, you can't counsel the counselor, right? Because you always have the answers. You always help everyone else. If you're not happy living like that, then why do it? Just because that's what it's always been, right? That's where your roots are no longer working in your favor, right? That's like, if you think about the Hierophant, our card, that's what that speaks about, right? It's old, antiquated, dead religion that does not have spirit infused into it. When people get so lost in dogma and religion that they lose sight of God, right? Then what's the point anymore? Just to say that you come from a long line of Catholics, you always been Catholic, your great granddaddy was Catholic, and you're supposed to be Catholic too, but it's not serving you, then what's the point? That's settling for so much less than you deserve. That's something that keeps you from having victory, right? So I feel this whole month, Taurus, and we're just looking at the first half because y'all know this YouTube, but we're going to dive deeper in the extended. But I feel the whole premise of this, why all of this is happening, it's like you're getting delivered in a very literal sense, because there's a ball and chain that you've been carrying with you all of this time that's stopping you from flying, that's been preventing you from transforming. And why all of this is happening is so you once and for all can leave behind this old, antiquated, outdated way of being and actually experience what it feels like for the first time to be free. And what better time for that to happen than during your birthday season? I'm just saying, I think all Tauruses want to fly. Could you imagine a bull flying? We a little heavy. But I think it's time for you guys to get your wings and to no longer be limited by what your past life, parents, whatever experience is, right? But we're going to get into how it is that you guys do that in the extended, my beautiful humans. So I hope that this helped, my beautiful Taurus. Happy freaking birthday. Happy solar return. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see you guys sooner than later. I'm going over to my network and Patreon, Vimeo, and YouTube members, all the places to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face. And I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends.